Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are back taking a look at some more awesome spice in the Greatly. And today we are taking a look at another Shadow. We are taking a look at Shadow SNEASEL. And I know you might be thinking, HomeSlice, do you mean Shadow Weavile? No, Shadow SNEASEL. It is running Ice Shard, Foul Play, and Avalanche, and much like Weavile, it is exceedingly glassy but hits incredibly hard. And to back up this Pokemon, this trainer is using a Serperior and a Politoed and goes on a really nice 8-2 run. So without further ado, let's hop into these battles and check out the Shadow SNEASEL in action. Picking up an amazing lead here in Altaria. They're staying in, and look at the damage. They switch out into a Bomb of Snow. That is not a better response to a SNEASEL. Let's see how much damage this Avalanche does. Oh my goodness. What? Oh, that is ridiculous. Let's see what they have in back. And the opponent has an Alolan Marowak in the back, going for the foul play. This is probably going to get the shield. Opponent's team is triple weak to Bastiodon, by the way. What does the opponent do in the event of a Bastiodon besides just lose? I definitely agree with the call of staying in, so that way the Politoed is aligned with the Alolan Marowak. Able to sneak a Mudshot through, which is really nice. And shields it up. Oh, and they're running Shadow Ball, so a nice shield there. Altaria does come in and throw, but the nice thing about Politoed is it has some bulk to it. Both Politoed and Serperior do have some okay bulk, which is really nice because that can help compensate for SNEASEL being an absolute paper plate of a Pokemon. And now, switching into the Serperior, I really like this call. This way you can basically get some utility out of Serperior as a damage sponge, since it really doesn't have any play against the Alolan Marowak. Throwing right at 1 HP on the going for the Aerial Ace, gets the shield, but I believe one Mudshot takes it out. Perfect. And has the move loaded for the Alolan Marowak and going to be able to clutch it out and take the win. So a bit of a scary situation there with a backline Altaria once the SNEASEL was dead, but able to clutch it out and take the win. Picking up a nice lead versus the Hypno. And they are going to save swap into a Azumarill, and this is what the Serperior is here for, to absolutely destroy Azumarills. The nice thing about Serperior, it's very tanky, so an Ice Beam, Serperior is chilling. Can farm all the way up to the 2 Frenzy Plants here, and Frenzy Plant does hit Azumarill quite hard. Frenzy Plant comes through, secures the KO. Hypno comes back in. Oh, unfortunately, a Confusion does sneak through when they throw, but this Frenzy Plant does hit hard, and they are able to get to another Frenzy Plant before the Confusion registers, and this should be taking out that Hypno. Oh, it looks like one more Vine Whip took it out, and they have a Toxicroak in the back, and this is a little rough, because unfortunately, SNEASEL has absolutely no play here, because those counters are going to be doing double super effective damage onto the SNEASEL, and SNEASEL is already, as I mentioned, a paper plate of a Pokemon, so this could get a little rough. Going for the Weather Ball, of course, gets the shield. Tries to catch onto the SNEASEL, get to the Avalanche. Oh, they just get countered down. Look at just the damage there. Oh my goodness. Going for the Mud Bomb, does get the shield. The nice thing is the Toxicroak needs a Sludge Bomb to KO, so the Politoed is going to be able to get to the back-to-back Weather Balls. First gets the shield, and the second does secure the KO. So even though SNEASEL was fully countered down, the Ice Shard damage was substantial on the Toxicroak. Alright, hopping into game number 3, SNEASEL into a Swampert. This is not the best lead for SNEASEL, even though those Ice Shards are chunking. Able to catch onto the Politoed, a very nice catch there, as the Hydro Cannon is going to be resisted. And the opponent brings out an Altaria. Come on, go for the Blizzard. Oh, unfortunately cannot quite get to the move. Sky Attack comes through, and deciding to let that go, and now comes in with the SNEASEL. My guess is probably going to shield and commit to the farm down. That makes quite a bit of sense. Sky Attack comes through, able to commit to the farm down, and SNEASEL has a ton of energy now. And, oh, they get sniped by an Infernape? What the heck? Holy spice! Infernape coming through, Infernape getting bodied by an Aerial Ace. What am I looking at? That is some spice right there. Going for the Blast Burn unsuccessfully. Can they commit to the Vine Whip down? Able to Vine Whip down, but unfortunately, despite the 2 Frenzy Plants, Swampert may have this if they have Sludge Wave. Okay, able to get to another Frenzy Plant. It's going to be a race, but Swampert should be able to get to that Sludge Wave. And, ooh, just falling short of the Frenzy Plant needed to KO. Sludge Wave is going to take out the Serperior. So, a pretty close game there towards the end. Ended up being a lot closer than I was expecting. Some very cool Infernape Spice. Horrible lead here in Medicham. Definitely has to switch out into the Serperior. And definitely can let the first move through. This cannot be enough for a Psychic, so it is just the Ice Punch. That's totally fine. And going for the Frenzy Plant. Even though Aerial Ace is super effective, Frenzy Plant is the better move and gets Stab. So Frenzy Plant's definitely the way to go. And they bring out a Sableye. Interesting. Sableye can probably commit to the farm down if they decide to shield. And they do decide to shield there, and they opt to throw. So that works out very well. So the opponent was a little scared of the Serperior's energy and opts to throw. That's nice. And in comes the SNEASEL. Unfortunately, SNEASEL just kind of has to shield everything. It's a little bit like Shadow Salamence, where you just have to shield everything. But those neutral Ice Shards are chunking, able to get to an Avalanche. Avalanche takes out the Sableye, and they bring out an Azumarill. And unfortunately, Azumarill kind of walls Shadow SNEASEL, because all charge moves are going to be resisted. Going for the Avalanche. That Avalanche did damage, though. That is resisted, and on Azu, one of the tankiest Great League Pokemon, the Azu is threatened enough to shield. They throw onto the Politoed, which actually can absorb a hit. Oh, and they have Play Rough. Really good thing that didn't land on the SNEASEL. That would have been game over for sure. Deciding to shield up the Politoed. Another Play Rough coming through, and we'll have to see what's in the back, and they are able to catch. So a very nice catch onto the Medicham. Weather Ball does take it out. Azumarill comes back in, opting to go for the Blizzard. Little bit of a disrespect there on the Blizzard. Able to land it, and the Azu is at a move, but SNEASEL should be able to close this out pretty comfortably. SNEASEL comes in and able to just Ice Shard down an Azu like it's nothing. That's just absolutely crazy, to be honest. All right, an amazing lead in Venusaur. Unfortunately, kind of has to shield this because, again, SNEASEL does take neutral from the Frenzy Plants, and they can just farm down. They come in with a Tentacruel, a very cool pick, and going to match with the Serperior. Unfortunately, Serperior doesn't have the best matchup here just because the Poison Jabs are super effective, and the Acid Spray just begins to really ramp up those Poison Jabs. Going to be able to go for the Frenzy Plant, does get the shield, which is nice, and able to get to another Frenzy Plant right before it goes down. Again, the bulk of Serperior coming in clutch, and this will be getting that Tentacruel very low. Unfortunately, Tentacruel does have an Acid Spray coming out, so it decides to come into the Politoed to soak the damage, because Politoed is going to soak even the little damage from Acid Spray a lot better than SNEASEL. Trying to switch out, they have the Venusaur, and they have a G-Fisk. Okay, let's see how much this Avalanche does. I am curious on a G-Fisk. Holy crap! What? This thing hits like a truck! What do you mean? And they're just gonna let this go and trust in the Politoed to get them the win. That damage is absurd! Fully letting it go on the Politoed. That's just a Rock Slide. Totally fine there. And the opponent just concedes. That damage from Shadow SNEASEL is ridiculous. Pelipper lead. Definitely more of a neutral lead. Unfortunately, the SNEASEL does get outspammed here, which makes this a rough matchup. Going for the Avalanche, so we'll be able to get the shield back. And then maybe try and catch a Weather Ball. One more. Oh, unfortunately, the opponent saw it coming, held onto their energy, farmed up a ton, and came in with a Bastiodon. Bastiodon is actually not a great response to a Serperior. Serperior does pretty well here. So we've seen Pelipper and a Steel. So judging off this, there's either a G-Fisk in the back, so the Pelipper double Steel line, or some kind of a Pidgeot. Whether that's going to be a Sableye, a Hypno, or a Defense Deoxys. That would be my guess off seeing this team. Then again, I could be wrong, and we would have to make a Home Slices Wrong montage. We'll see. All right, Frenzy Plant does take out the Bastiodon. Pelipper comes in, does not throw right away, interestingly enough, and will have to shield the Frenzy Plant, or all that energy goes to waste. Oh, and it's CMP. That's massive. It was offset CMP. You can definitely just let this go as the superior. Totally fine. And now you definitely just come in with the Politoed. Comes into the Sneasel, tries to snipe. Oh, and it's a Scrafty in the back. Interesting team. Not at all what I was expecting. Oh, that Avalanche nearly one-shots the Scrafty. What do you mean? That damage. Holy crap. What is happening? That damage has to be banned in like 12 states minimum. That was ridiculous. Oh my goodness. So a very interesting team. Pelipper, Bastiodon, and Scrafty. Very dependent on alignment. Interesting. Another rough lead here in a Shadow Swampert. Probably going to try and catch, although catching on the superior this time. So interestingly enough, bringing in the hard counter. Don't necessarily agree with that play, because if they have something like an Abomasnow, then that's going to make this very, very rough, because now you really don't have a good Swampert counter left on the team. Able to land the Aerial Ace, which is nice, but unfortunately, this Abomasnow does have a decent amount of energy, so even if the Sneasel comes back in to try and farm down, they are going to have to put up at a minimum 1 shield, potentially even 2. Oh, and they get to a second one, so doubling down on the Sneasel. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth, staring at that top right-hand corner, looking to see the typing. Frostlass. Oh, and they go for the Avalanche. No, they hit the wrong move. Oh, no. That foul play would have killed, I'm pretty sure. That is heartbreaking. Accidentally hitting the wrong move. You hate to see it. Aggressive swap into the Politoed. I do really like this play. Able to force a shield, which is really nice. And this is going to hurt. Shadow Ball from Frostlass is no joke. That's going to do a lot of damage. Farming up, and now going for a Weather Ball. This is going to be taking care of the Frostlass, which is nice. And now there's just a Shadow Swampert left in back, although Shadow Swampert does not appreciate Weather Balls. Swampert will have to farm up to 2 here. And they throw 1 before the Weather Ball. Nice job there. But can they survive the Ice Shards from the Sneasel? Come on, Sneasel. Ooh, able to farm down and clutch it. So even with the misclick, able to clutch out the win. Whew. That was a nerve-wracking one. All right. Picking up a lead versus Umbreon. And they're going to save swap into Talonflame. Oh, get out of there. Oh, my goodness. that one Incinerate did so much damage to poor Sneasel. Shields up. Oh, they went for the Brave Bird. Interesting. Throwing after 2. So they are still 1 away from another Brave Bird. And they're going to shield. Ooh, and Incinerate goes through. That's rough. So my guess is we're going to see them commit a second shield, because the Talonflame is going to want to play out the 2 shield. And they overfarmed. Oh, no. They must have overtapped in that situation, because they had enough for the Brave Bird, and then they did 1 extra Incinerate, and that was enough for Politoed to get to a move. That is really, really rough for the opponent. They definitely committed that second shield specifically so they could get the second Brave Bird off, and since they overtapped, they're unable to do so. That's really, really rough. Fortunately, Politoed is putting good work in versus Umbreon. It was a CMP tie. That's really nice. We'll see if the Umbreon does decide to undercharge. They just decide to take out the Politoed. Sneasel comes in. What's in the back? It's an Azu. And Superior is going to be able to handle this. So fortunately, this game, it looks like, does come down to more of a rock, paper, scissors style, where Superior is going to be able to comfortably close out this match. Going for the Frenzy Plant. As we've seen, Frenzy Plant from this range, I believe, should KO. Oh, it looks like it barely does not. So maybe that was an XL Azu. And now going for the Aerial Ace. Only reason he Aerial Aces here is if he's trying to get the kill with the Sneasel. Going for another Aerial Ace. Does he undercharge this? He does undercharge it. He wants to get the kill with the Sneasel. And there we go. Avalanche from the Sneasel, taking them out. So he was just burning his switch clock, trying to secure the win, flexing with the Sneasel. You love to see it. All right, hop in the next match. Sneasel into Alolan Marowak. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Really have to land the foul play here to have any chance. Unfortunately, ABA weak 2 fire. That is one big weakness of the team. And now aggressively switching in the Politoed, and the opponent brings out a Charm Alolan Ninetales. I mean, it's good to see the Charmeleon Ninetales here and not lined up against the SNEASEL, but the downside, of course, being that he now has no Alolan Marowak counters left alive, so that is really not ideal. Over farming quite a bit on the Politoed, which is nice, but those charms are chunky, and this Politoed is very low. That doesn't kill, so has to go back to back here. And now doesn't have a move loaded when leaving. They're probably going to bring in their third, which is their own Politoed. Has to throw before the opposing Politoed gets to Weather Ball, so can only get off a Weather Ball here. And, I mean, on the bright side, you do have the Serperior to take out the Politoed, but you also have nothing to take out the Alolan Marowak, so this is going to be a very difficult game. I'm not seeing a win con at the moment. Coming in with the Serperior and brings out the Alolan Marowak. Deciding to let it go. This will probably just be the Shadow Bone, which it is. Ooh, okay. And got the defense drop. That is painful. Another Shadow Bone. This Marowak was loaded on energy, and now just trying to get off as many Frenzy Plants as possible, because SNEASEL's not going to be a whole lot of help here. Able to get off another Frenzy Plant, but this is just not going to be doing enough damage to that Alolan Marowak. Does get it low. Brings out the SNEASEL. Unfortunately, the Marowak's able to throw, and the Marowak is going to be able to finish off this game. And as you can see, unfortunately does end up top lefting there. So a bit of a rough match there. Fire on the lead is definitely a problem. Hypno lead, though, that is great. I'm super excited to see if we can see a foul play land. They save swap into Umbreon, interestingly enough. Going for the Avalanche. Let's see how much this does to Umbreon. I'm very curious. Oh, they shield. Oh, you are the destroyer of fun. Let SNEASEL live. They do correctly go for the last resort. Second Avalanche. Let's see how much this does to an Umbreon. Holy crap. That makes Umbreon almost look like a Pokemon with normal bulk. Really nice catch onto Serperior. Fantastic. Able to catch the last resort. That's a huge waste of energy for that Umbreon. And now can probably farm up a decent amount of energy before throwing to secure the KO. Farming up again. Oh, and able to farm down. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do that. Very nicely done. Hypno comes back in, and it's just going to be unloading these Frenzy Plants. Able to get to another Frenzy Plant here, and the Hypno is going to be going down if they don't shield here. And they do shield. Ooh, that is nice, because SNEASEL does have that loaded energy. So the question is the opponent's switch clock up? SNEASEL. Oh, the SNEASEL didn't quite have a move. Oh, it's Scrafty. Oh, no. Get out of there. SNEASEL, run. It's a counter user. Oh, goodness. Scrafty going for the foul play. And now just going to start spamming out these Weather Balls. But the good thing is the SNEASEL does have a loaded move to take out the Hypno endgame. And now the Politoed just needs to spam out these Weather Balls like crazy. That Weather Ball doesn't KO, which is really unfortunate. Definitely has to shield here. Has to get to another Weather Ball versus the Scrafty to have a chance. Able to get to the Weather Ball, that's huge. And SNEASEL is going to win CMP over Hypno. So should be in a winning position here. They do bring out the Hypno. Hypno farms down. Oh, and they concede before the SNEASEL can foul play him. Oh, that's a little rough. But all in all, Shadow SNEASEL, super glassy, but oh my goodness, the damage was ridiculous. This thing hits incredibly hard, and man, I kind of wish that I had kept one of these, so I'm definitely going to have to go track down a Shadow SNEASEL and add it to the repertoire. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.